Hello, Nadine. Okay, episode 5.
My gosh.
Look at us doing things.
So how have you been?
Life's crazy. It's not slowing down at all. And people are getting vaccinated, and there might actually be light at the end of this pandemic tunnel, that everything is getting more and more chaotic, but we're still living in pandemic life. So it's like a weird collision of two worlds, and I'm not really ready for it.
I know.
So it's a lot.
I don't feel ready to go back to the way life was before the pandemic.
I don't want to.
Me either. I mean, technically, I'm moving and I'll be working from home, so I don't have to. But you know, it'll still be different. I'll be like more obligated to show up at parties. So I kind of like using the "Are you serious?" during a pandemic excuse.
I don't know. Like, I've tended to have a slower pace than a lot of people that I know. A lot of people that I know are very like, they have their kids doing lots of activities. Their calendars are always booked up to the nines with all this stuff. And I've tended to be a little bit more laid back. And I still felt overwhelmed even with my laid back, my attempt at a laid back. Okay, this is Emily Wilson's version of a laid back life. So like, take that with a grain of salt. But I've really liked how kind of the world took a breath, and like everybody just had to spend time with their families and weren't crazed out of their minds. And I'm not looking forward to going back to that kind of like rat race almost.
I liked it.
And I think we needed it, and I think we rushed out of it too fast because it was like, oh, we don't like change, so let's go back to what we know, even though it kills us slowly.
Yes, no, I know. All the people that have been so mad about it, I've just kind of like, I don't know. You know me, I'm like a homebody. So I was happy from the beginning. It was like going to do the life I've always wanted, being a hermit.
Like, yay! I can live my best life.
Do all my hobbies, wear pajamas to work.
Well, if we have any new listeners today, welcome to Key Chats. Kaylee is the K. I'm Emily the E, and you're the Y. You. Yes. Together.
Without
we're
you,
a key.
This is K.
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 K. K. K.
Doesn't have a nice feel to it.
Sounds like something like a villain in an anime would say, like K. K.
Yeah. Like the weird little side lines that they have that make no sense.
Yeah.
One Piece is full of those, and I never understand. They're so random. Yes.
So we need you to be here with us.
About you, we're just weird sidelines.
Yeah, and then it gets awkward real fast. No, I was gonna say, what are you drinking? The can looks cool.
Oh, that's actually why I picked it. It's called Season of the Witch, and it's by True North, which is a Boston company, I believe. But it's like kind of fruity. It has mango, pineapple, melon. It's pretty good. For an IPA, I'm usually not a big fan, but this one's actually good.
Are they Ipswich?
Yes. I thought they were Boston, but Ipswich.
Yeah. It's a nice building. I've driven by it. That's all I know about it.
I've actually, for someone who really loves beer as much as I do, I've never actually been to a brewery before. Soon, cool. 2023.
Okay. Let's keep it reasonable. Maybe in 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe.
When it's safer.
We'll see.
I'm not good with plans when it comes down to them.
Okay, I'll force you.
Yeah.
I'll plan it, and then I'll just be like, show up at these coordinates at this time, and I won't tell you what to do or what we're going to
do. You personally, Emily, have a way of getting me to do things that I just normally, like other people would just accept me backing out. You are relentless. I am. Do these things.
I don't know if that's good or bad, though.
No, I love it. No, it's good. It's good because we wouldn't be doing this right now. We would have put it off till tomorrow. And then you're right. It would have been more stressful when it came down to editing. So without you, where would I be?
Relentless is one of those like characteristics though that could be good or could be really bad. So
Depends.
I'm glad it's worked out well for us.
In this, it's good. It's working for us.
Good. So I have Down East Double Blend today. So Down East is an absolute local favorite. So good. Obviously a cider. They're gluten-free. They're double blend. Let's read it. We spent a lot of time in the lab pushing the envelope on original blend and came up with the double. Same filtered taste with higher alcohol at 6.9%. And that is riddled with typos, probably on purpose.
Let's hope.
But everybody go support Down East and True North. Whenever I hear that, I just think of the Great North show on Hulu.
Oh, yes. So. You told me about that today.
Yeah. It's fun. There's only like 6 episodes out, so it's not a big ask.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that's why I haven't heard of it, because it's so new. And it's on TV, right?
Yeah, so it's... I think she's laughing. Yeah, so it's airing either weekly or every other week on Fox as part of their animation block. But the episodes go up weekly on Hulu.
Oh, perfect. I will probably watch it because I do like those kind of cartoons. Like Bob's Burgers is a big favorite.
It's definitely Bob's Burger vibes. And Nick Offerman is the voice of the dad.
And then can you give me another thing he's in? So
Parks and Rec. He's Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec.
Okay. Yep, got it.
Yeah.
I love him. So continue.
Yeah, and it's basically he's a single dad of like a lot of children, but they're range from like 5th grade to like mid-20s, and they all live together in this house, and they like own a fishing boat in Alaska. And it's very heartwarming and quirky, and I love it.
That's good.
We'll see how it goes.
I like that about Bob's Burgers. It's like, it's not a show that you should watch with kids, but like now that Kylie's 10, it's like I feel like that would be a good kind of starter show into that kind of comedy, because like I always liked Family Guy, but I would never let her watch that. You know what I mean? But Bob's Burgers, it's like a real family. Like it's a very real family.
It's so real. It's so real. Like, yeah. Yeah, it's one of the few shows that my whole family can actually watch together because we have very, very different tastes in television. Very different. But we can all sit around and watch Bob's Burgers and enjoy it.
Yeah,
which is
so good.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, so you'll have to watch Great North at some point.
Well, I have too many shows on my list right now, and I just started Star Trek.
I know. Debbie would be so proud of you because that's her go-to binge.
Is it? I'm watching the first one because I like to go in like actual order of how things happened or came out.
That's awesome.
I really like it. I'm the type of person who likes movies and shows that are like kind of like clunky and awkward and like make you laugh at how ridiculous it is sometimes. Like even if that's not the intent, like they'll fight in the show and I'm sitting there dying because of how like very fake it is. You know what I mean? Like I love that stuff. But no, I really like it. I really like Mr. Spock and I really like Mr. Sulu. Those are my faves.
I need to go back and watch some of the original because it's been so long and I don't think I watched a lot of it in order.
Yeah.
Because we grew up watching a lot of Star Trek Voyager, which of course like fueled my early days of feminism right from the get-go because it was Captain Janeway and she's amazing and I love her so much.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, that's okay. So I grew up like watching that one, and so I need to go back and probably watch some more of the originals. Because then when the movies came out with like Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, like I understood the universe of Star Trek, but didn't really understand as much of the character nuances, other than just like the overall tropes of it. So.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear that there's like a future female captain because one thing that I dislike about this Star Trek, and I mean, it is in the time that it was made, was how women are portrayed. Like, they're really just objects. You know what I mean? Like, in this kind of show, it's just like something to look at and someone to love a man. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Well, and even like, in Star Trek, as that show, as the original progresses, they showed things on television that literally had never happened before, like a biracial kiss.
Good.
They definitely pushed the boundaries, and so like watching the originals in the context was probably like, in that context, it was like going into the future almost.
Yeah.
So at some point I want to watch the new Star Trek Discovery and some of the newer Star Trek content that's coming out and being produced now, but it's on CBS All Access, and like I'm not going to pay for that, or Paramount Plus, whatever it is.
I know. There's like too many. I feel like there's a Star Trek on everything now. What did she say last time? Debbie said like not Disney, Discovery Plus, Paramount Plus.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah. And there's one that's an animated show, which I would probably love. So
doesn't that make fun of the Star Trek?
Probably. There's another one that's a parody of the Star Treks that's an animated show. And I feel
like Debbie mentioned it last time.
Yeah, we'll have to consult apparently Debbie's our Star Trek expert now.
I mean, she really inspired me with that episode. I have started reading so much more and getting into these types of shows.
Yes, that's great.
Yes. I'm doing really good with my book.
Good.
I'm very impressed with myself. I'm already like more than halfway through one of them because I'm reading more than one, guys. I'm a booker now.
Look at you.
I know.
Look at you.
But it's really like, what I found is like, I was already reading Harry Potter, as you know. And so like I bought the other book. As we discussed, I was guilted into buying it because I made the man like work so hard at Barnes & Noble to help me find that section. So I had to buy that book, which is good. What is it? Cruel Prince. And then I, at night, obviously can't read my book in a dark room. So I got an ebook, which is The Girls with Paper and Fire. And that's the one that I'm flying through because it is right up my alley. Like,
is that the one that Debbie had a really hard time describing?
With the like weird animal type creatures. Yes. Yeah. And I think so. But like, honestly, it's really not that hard to describe. Like, to me, they're just like humanoid demon that also are animals. I guess it is kind of hard. But it's like the way that I think about this book and like in my mind, because I like to try to dumb everything down for myself. It's like Hunger Games where everything is segregated. But the reason everything is so segregated is because the paper people are basically just like full-bred humans. And anything above that is like a demon, humanoid, animal type thing. So they kind of are stronger. You know what I mean? So they just rule the land. Every chapter leaves you with needing to know what happens in the next chapter, just like TV shows do.
You just keep reading and then you never sleep.
Seriously, I've been staying up so late because I mean to just read one chapter and I'm reading like 3 or 4.
That's how I am right now with the series that I'm reading. So Debbie and I talked about it last episode, but there's a show on Netflix that just came out last week called Shadow and Bone.
I saw it. I want to watch it. But anyways, continue.
So the author, she's written a couple different series that exist in the same world. And so the show actually incorporates both the Shadow and Bone trilogy as well as, is it a trilogy? Pretty sure it's a trilogy. And then Six of Crows duology, so a set of 2 books. So the show is incorporating those 2 series at the same time, kind of. I don't want to spoil anything for you. So I've already read Shadow and Bone, and it was fine. Like, I enjoyed it. I read it. I wasn't glued to it, but I enjoyed it. I devoured Six of Crows. Like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, and I started Crooked Kingdom, the second one, the other day. And I'm like, Genevieve, like, I'm reading my book. It's so good. I'm going to be so upset when it's over, but highly recommend. And it's been fun to also read that series while watching a couple episodes of the show. So if you plan on watching the show and are also planning on reading the books at some point, I do recommend reading them first. but I think you'll still enjoy it either way. So far, what I've experienced with the show is that even if you haven't read the books, you can still thoroughly enjoy it. Like, I feel like there's not those plot holes that you would experience in some things that are like book to movie or book to TV adaptations. Yeah, where it's like, I don't know what's happening. Like, you expect me to have a lot more knowledge than I do.
Right.
That doesn't feel like it's happening here so far. And it's also just like, the vibe's a little steampunk. It's
I love that.
Yeah, so it's fun. I think you'll really, really enjoy it.
Well, I'm already reading like 3 books right now, Emily. Okay, I have a limit.
Okay, well then you can just watch the show then you can go back and read it.
Yes. Because if I can balance books, I can balance shows.
Yeah, and there's only like 8 episodes or something of the show, so it'll be interesting to see how they. Yeah, because they're Anyway, when you watch it and finish it, because I don't want to have spoilers either for listeners because it just came out. But we can discuss in more detail later, my theories.
Okay, fine. When it's more acceptable.
When we don't have to put spoiler alerts all the time.
I know. Although we probably should. I'm slow to watch things. Like, I keep seeing Shadow and Bone pop up, and I'm like, no, I'm on 1980s or whatever Star Trek.
Older than that. Much older.
No, I think the season I'm on right now, I think it might be like 1978 or 79 or something. So we're right there. We got the weird lighting and the glowing on the eyes.
Good.
You know, like Morticia.
Oh, man. Well, I think whenever you get there, I think you'll really enjoy it. The production value seems really high. The casting is really good.
Good.
Like, the chemistry between the characters has been really, really fun. And awkward when it should be awkward, which is always
good.
Awkward.
Like, more background
and
cringy.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. I forget how we got on that topic. But yay, I'm glad you're reading more books.
I know. I do. It does make me feel like I'm doing something productive, like with my tiny moments of time. Because I really not that we keep talking about Debbie, but like I really was inspired when she said that she was reading more books at like more than one book at a time because she was like putting them down and picking them up when she felt like it. It was just like, to me, I've always been like, you need to read one and then finish it and then pick up another one. It's like, no, if you can do it with TV, why can't you do it with books? It's like,
it's like you don't, it feels like there has to be these rules almost around different activities, especially because reading is so central to school and school is so regimented with rules and whatnot. And I think that's why a lot of people just aren't engaged in reading because the environment of it was not a positive one for people. And so if you can get rid of some of those rules and just be like, no, like if you enjoy reading graphic novels, like that's reading. Right. Like you don't have to be a snob about it. Like if you're enjoying it, then that's what matters. Like we don't have to be snobs about it. Like let's everybody just like take a deep breath.
Reading is so fun now. It's not just a chore.
Yeah, well, and it's like even with graphic novels, like we've been doing those with Genevieve at bedtime, and it's a way for me to read books to her that I find more interesting.
Yeah.
And she's engaged because she can't read, so to have all those pictures, like we've tried reading Harry Potter and stuff, and she just does not.
Yeah. Emma's definitely not into it. No.
But to be able to have a little bit more complex storylines with the visual engagement is really important and really helpful for her. So
what are you reading to her right now?
It's a great question. I forget what it's called. 5 Sand World 5? I'll have to find it. I'll bring it next time.
5 Sands of the World.
That's not what it's called. But there's the number 5 and there's sand and there's different worlds. So, it's good so far though. And I don't think the series is done being written, so that's going to be rough when we get to the last book that's out.
Yeah. That's like more than a season of a show coming out. That's like going to be a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't really been reading books as they've been written since the Harry Potter days. Yeah. Like waiting for books to get released like that. Because I remember going to book release parties for that.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
That's fun. What the heck? I didn't even know they did that.
Oh yeah, I was there. Like the first book release party I went to was for Order of the Phoenix, and we went to our local bookstore. We all dressed up. It was a huge thing.
That's so funny. What?
Yeah, the Trap Book Center, which was the name of the town, is Trap. It's not
like a trap house.
No,
the Trap bookstore.
Okay, so I grew up in a town called Trap. It's spelled Trappe.
Trap Town.
And the main bar in town was called the Trap Tavern, and people would just refer to it as the Trap. And in town, that's fine.
Right.
But whenever you say to anybody else, like, hey, let's go grab drinks at the Trap, like, red flags, sirens go off.
Yeah, I can see that would be a problem.
And like, really, guys, like, what have we done?
Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. Yep. So, if we ever visit my hometown, we'll go to the Trap and see what happens.
Nothing can go wrong.
Nothing at all.
Oh my.
My segue skills are terrible today.
Do we need them?
Do we? I don't know.
We have those awkward little like music blurs that we throw in there.
I like them.
Me too. I like the goat. Can't wait to use them one day when I'm allowed.
Oh my gosh. No. Okay, guys. You'll know that something happened to me if all of the sudden we release an episode with the sound of a goat in it.
I think that we should post to our story and take a vote on who would appreciate the goat. Because I feel like a big majority would. We have a cat. It's just another animal.
That's true. I don't know how Nadine has now become our intro every episode.
I love it. It's honestly my favorite. And I imagine that our fans listen to it and they're like, hello, Nadine. Meow. Every time they turn us on. Yeah. We do need our own song. If anyone wants to volunteer to make us one, that'd be pretty lit. But for now, we're using what Anchor has.
Yeah, we need some beats, guys.
Yes.
We need the beats.
Send them over.
Yeah, DM us on Insta. _chats.
Is it?
Yeah, so hit us up if you want to bless us with your beats and
give us topics.
Yeah.
Or questions. Because we just come with our own questions, but it would be nice to have questions from other people.
Yes. Speaking
there's a segue.
That is a good segue. That is a good segue. The other tab I have open right now is 160 first date questions. And I pulled only a handful because we tend to, I feel like we won't get through 160 questions.
Yes. Oh, probably not. Depends.
Kaylee, I have a question for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
What are people often surprised to learn about you, like as they get to know you?
What people are usually surprised to find out is that I'm a huge dork. I get that a lot.
How long? Really?
Yeah. They're like, you like really dorky stuff. And I'm like, I don't mean to. I don't know. It's just cool.
I guess it wasn't a surprise to me because it was very obvious.
Was it? I mean, you've seen my desk. With all my stuff.
I've gotten similar comments of like, I'm a total closet nerd.
Yeah.
Like on the outside, you don't necessarily think that. And then it's like, oh yeah, my favorite show is Adventure Time and I'm probably going to get a tattoo of LSP at some point in my life. And they're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Like when people find out that I have a Zelda tattoo, they're like, what?
I love it. I love that tattoo.
I don't know. I don't know what makes me drawn to certain things over others. Like, I have friends who are really into keeping up with like reality shows and celebrities, and that's fine and dandy. It's just never been my thing. Like, I'm not into current events, like unless it's like some new game that's coming out or like some, I don't know, new cool show. I don't know.
The only reality shows that I ever really got into were Survivor and Project Runway.
Really? The only one I've ever gotten into was Survivor when I was very young, and I stopped, I think, when my grandfather passed, which is sad, but I also like Big Brother. That was one I've always really liked. Have you ever watched it?
No.
Oh, that one, it's like they're just trapped in a house with no communication to the outside world. And it's just so cool to me to see how people act.
I'm surprised that I haven't watched it because I also have gone through seasons of really watching a lot of Amazing Race. And there's a lot of crossover between people that are on Survivor, Big Brother, and Amazing Race.
Yeah, I think there was a person from Amazing Race once on Survivor. Not Survivor, Big Brother.
And vice versa. Like, you'll get people that have been on Survivor that go on Big Brother, and then people on Big Brother that meet there that end up going on Amazing Race.
Yeah. Cool show.
I've thought about applying for Survivor before, but the more I learn about, like, poverty porn...
What?
Like, the less that I feel like I can do something like that. So there's, like, in kind of, like, so there's a lot of critique on, like, Western and first world media of how they are portraying, like, quote-unquote third world countries or third cultures. And with the idea that we quote unquote like almost get off on seeing poor people because it makes us feel good about ourselves and what we're grateful for. Yeah. And it's like, wow, these people, their lives are so hard. And it like strips those people of their dignity and their humanity and all of these things. Yeah. And so now that I'm like more aware of that, I'm like, I don't feel like I can in good conscience go on Survivor to try to win $1 million when this is like people's lives. So does it feel great?
I know. I just like you saying that just makes me think of, and I absolutely hate these videos. They make me cringe, but of people who are doing a good thing. Like they're doing a good thing, but sticking a camera in someone's face to like show the world this good thing that you're doing. It just makes me sick.
Yes.
Like, even the other day, there was a commercial for, like, some car company that was like, by the way, since the beginning of the pandemic, we donated so many hungry children. You should donate, but, like, we've donated so much. Like, okay, that's the whole point of the commercial was just to tell us that you donated. Like, it's just so for show. Like, nothing's genuine. Like, I like to do things to help others, but I don't like to record it because I feel like it defeats the purpose. I would rather not be thanked for it. I'd rather just do it for the feeling rather than the thanks.
Well, and it makes it about you rather than the person that you're helping. Yeah. I don't know if you follow this account on Instagram, but really amazing group of people. It's called No White Saviors. And they do an amazing job of basically calling out people for doing exactly that, almost like volunteerism or like a white celebrity goes to this country and they post a picture of themselves surrounded by Black children, and yet they won't post pictures of their own children on social media. And it's like, why is it okay to publicize these children, but you won't even share your own kids? So highlighting a lot of the hypocrisy of that. Highly recommend following their accounts. I know they're on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah. And they do a lot of really educational like Instagram series. I don't know if I follow their Twitter, but their Instagram is just, it's amazing. And they'll do different fundraisers for stuff. And if you want to learn, and I'm a white person who wants to learn, like I'm uncomfortable reading this stuff sometimes, but like that's what I need. If you're comfortable all the time, then you're not learning. Yeah. So it's good stuff. And it's exactly like tackling a lot of exactly what we just talked about. Even like National Geographic. Like I remember like going through my grandma's old National Geographics years and years ago, and you would just see pictures and pictures of like naked children.
Yep. Just like it's devastating, and I'm sure the world needs to see it, but not publicized.
Not in that way. Because if there was a picture of a white kid in a magazine, you get arrested for child pornography. It's just
what a depressing topic. Let's move on.
Sorry, this is what I talk about. You don't like current events, and I'm like, let's talk about all the social issues.
Let's talk about the depressing ones. This is why I avoid the news.
Okay, well, you can ask me a question.
Oh, okay. Well, I did look up some date questions after you told me you were going to, but I also wanted to ask you, because I'm interested to know, what is a scene, or some like a long scene, short scene, whatever, from any movie or show that like you can't even really think about it without getting like emotional, like welling up, because it's just such a touchy thing to you. I don't know. Something that's hard. You. I know,
because I don't like feelings and I don't like crying.
But there are shows, I'm sure, that have brought you, or movies that have brought you to that point where you're just like, shit.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, the first movie that I straight up bawled to was Titanic.
Well, yeah, I feel like that was everyone's first movie to describe.
I just want you all to know I do have a soul.
It's in there somewhere.
I also bawled at the Titanic. Yeah. This is such a good question, because I feel like my answer would be very different before I had a child versus now. Like the kind of TV and like movies that I consume has changed a lot, because I can't watch anything with kids anymore. Oh man. One of the most moving scenes in cinematic history is Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn, as he looks back at the combined armies of the Rohirrim and the armies of Gondor in Lord of the Rings Return of the King.
I was like, these names sound familiar, but she's not saying what it's from, and I don't want to sound dumb right now.
Where he looks back, then he looks forward at the black gates, tears slowly trickling down, and he says, "For Frodo." Except a lot more manly and like hot. And but then like charges at the black gates, not knowing if Frodo's even there.
I wish that he said it like that. I wish that he turned around and he said, "For Frodo."
Yeah, so all of a sudden, Aragorn was possessed by Gollum for a hot second.
Oh,
no, he was like,
who likes it?
Aragorn was my first love, my first and forever love.
Was that? But it's just one? Like I haven't seen Lord of the Rings in so long. Oh my god.
He's Strider. Man. Yes, he becomes the king of Gondor because Sorry, I'm gonna be like a pretentious asshole about this right now.
Do it, because I haven't watched it in like 10 years.
He's the one that meets the hobbits at the pub because Gandalf gets detained.
You know what's so funny? And this is random, like whatever, but like when I was younger, I was so into Legolas. Like he was like the hottest man, and like all the teachers, all my teachers were obsessed with Aragorn. And now Aragorn. I'm so sorry.
Aragorn is a dragon book. Aragorn is this hot man that I love.
So all my teachers were obsessed with Aragorn, and I was obsessed with Legolas. But now that I'm older, I'm like, all right, Aragorn. And like Legolas is like too boyish. Like, what was I thinking?
Oh, yeah. I remember having like many arguments at the lunch table, like Legolas versus Aragorn. And I have to say, I definitely had the better choice long term. Like, my choice aged well, like fine wine. Okay.
Yep. You were with it before we were with it. So
it's like, oh. Like, I could watch his fight scenes in the Two Towers on repeat.
I need to rewatch the movies. Man, Emily, it's really been, I saw them when I was probably 9, because I remember my mom took me to the theaters to bring them, to watch them. And so what was that? When did they come out? They were like early 2000s?
Early 2000s, yeah, because I remember we did a marathon when the third movie came out, and we went to Bravo Pizza in the Trap Shopping Center. We got...
the Trap Shopping Center.
I got pepperoni pizza sticks at Bravo Pizza. Yeah, so probably that scene where Aragorn leads this very small remaining army of all that's left really on Middle-earth to fight the evil, not even knowing if Frodo will complete the mission. It's all on faith. It's so beautiful.
I need to rewatch them.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Can we do, like, they have a watch party on certain apps?
I have the extended editions too. Have you ever watched the extended editions?
Nope. I need to. We can just watch them right here. You'll put a TV behind you, and I will stand here. Sit
It's
here.
so great.
Yes.
It's going to be like 12 hours long. Each movie is 2 DVDs long.
It's crazy how they have to be on multiple DVDs. And now, like, there aren't even DVDs.
Yeah, so I have all 3 movies extended editions, and there's 4 discs in each one because there's 2 discs just for the movies, and then 2 discs of all the special features. And yes, I have watched hundreds of hours of special features of Lord of the Rings, and my dream job is like, maybe I could work at Weta Workshop someday.
What?
Maybe. Dude, Weta Workshops, they're like the premier special effects, costuming, whatever studio house in New Zealand. So they did like Chronicles of Narnia, they did all of Lord of the Rings. Like they end up inventing a lot of stuff for movies.
That's cool. So yeah, you could work there. I could see it.
Do you have an emotional scene from like a TV or movie that just like gets you every time?
So first of all, I cried to most commercials. I cried when the final Harry Potter starts. As soon as that WB comes through the clouds, I am already welling up. I can't handle it. I cry for everything. But the one show I would say gives me the most feelings is, I know you've never watched One Piece, but the whole Enies Lobby arc when Luffy is going to save Robin. I'm literally choking up right now. Oh. I know you don't know Robin, but she's one of the females in his pirate crew, and she gets taken away, and he's going to save her, and she has never had friends before, so she's saying like, no, just go, like I don't care, like I'm not your friend, whatever. And then he finally says like, you know what, I know you want to live, Robin, like just tell me. And she screams that she wants to live, and I can't.
Oh,
you see, I can't. You have to watch One Piece. You have to.
This is the most convinced I've ever been to watch One Piece. I want you to know that it took you crying for me to be like, yeah, let's do this.
No, because I feel the same way as you. When Chan started watching One Piece way before I did, he watched the whole series, and every time I watched it, I was like, this show's so goofy and stupid. Like, how can this guy try to be Pirate King? And it's been going on for 900 something episodes. Like, what the hell is the story? But it's really just so much character development. It's so much like, oh, it's so good. Like, I'm like slowly rewatching it again, and it gives me that same feeling. Like, I feel like my heart is being lifted out of my chest every time I watch it.
That's how I feel about Adventure Time. I know we talked about that a little bit earlier today, but like individually, the episodes are so silly.
Yep.
And it's on Cartoon Network. Like, I'm pretty sure when it originally aired, it was going on at like 10 a.m. on Cartoon Network. Yeah. But when you look at the overall arc,
right,
it's the character development is brilliant.
Yep.
One of the things that they did with the original casting too, with Adventure Time, that was just it's not a thing in animated shows, is they cast an actual like preteen boy as the protagonist. And then they aged his character as the actor aged. That's so awesome. You go through like awkward puberty times and like feelings with him.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cool because you don't see that. Like Simpsons, everybody's the same age for however many decades that show is
20
on.
years. 30 years, I think, actually. I don't know.
Something crazy like that. Yeah. And they just navigate some like really tough topics of like family and belonging and like awkward dating stuff, but in the context of like ultimately they're adventurers going on adventures and trying to be heroes.
All right, so it's settled. I will watch however many episodes of.
There's 9 seasons of Adventure Time.
9 seasons of Adventure Time. You can watch 970 something episodes of One Piece.
Okay, if I have to watch 900 episodes of One Piece, then I'm giving you like a list of shows that you have to watch.
Yes. No, I do. I mean, I don't know. I love One Piece. Like it's like when you watch it and you really get into it, you can understand why it's one of the most like mainstream. I feel, in my opinion, it's one of the most mainstream animes. Like you can go into any novelty shop and find One Piece garb all around.
Yeah.
Or Adventure Time. You know, it's just one of those super popular things. And there's a reason. You just never have given it a chance because you had the same feelings that I did.
I've watched like 4 episodes.
Yeah. You just got to get into it so you can see how the relationship between the characters are, because that's what you really fall in love with. It's just
and I just haven't done that.
I know, but you will with me as your friend. Although I'm not as resilient as you.
You got to watch Kipo too. It'll hit you right in the feels.
Well, you're giving
especially
me a list, so.
And that one has like parent-child relationship feels in it too.
Yeah. Well, I told Kylie that we're gonna have to watch that and Dragon Prince because of you.
So you can binge both of them in a weekend.
All right.
Because there's only like 3 seasons of each. Maybe 4.
Okay. All right. So I'll make a plan for myself to do that.
Sounds good.
And I'll report to you.
Excellent.
And you'll be like, I'm on episode 27. I can't believe there's 900 and something.
It's all right.
It's funny
if this was like 2 years ago, I would have been like, let's do this, because I was sewing all the time and embroidering all the time. Yeah. And I'm just not doing that at the same capacity that I was.
I think for you, because I know you like to watch them in English when you're doing your sewing stuff. I think it's on Netflix now in English. So you can at least watch 150 episodes, I think, in English on there. So that's a good amount. It's before the drawing gets better, but...
I have Funimation too, so if it's on there.
Oh yeah. I think it's also on Hulu. It's on a lot of things because again, it's so popular. It's one of the main streams. The Weeaboo ones. Did I tell you that my brother yelled at me about that first episode where I talked about him? Yes. He was like, "You made me sound like a jerk, first of all," and I was like, "Well, you made me feel bad." Hi, Thomas. He doesn't listen anymore, but I can make him.
I didn't even know what his name was until his name's Thomas.
Oh, yes. My brother's name is Thomas Patrick. They're all Patrick Thomases or Thomas Patricks, except for my son, who is Chan Patrick. So I'm just throwing him in there.
Are you super Irish?
Oh, yeah. My maiden name is Halligan. Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Kelly Halligan.
The clover tattoos make a lot more sense now. I was a little confused. I was like, that's a choice. Okay.
I love clovers because it's my favorite plant. This is the highlight of my life I'm about to tell the whole world about. I went to a bar.
This is where you peaked.
Yes. And I met a man. I was already like happily engaged, so it wasn't like a flirtatious thing, but I met a man who was like obsessed with me because I was so Irish, and he was straight from Ireland. He had that thick Irish accent, and all night, very drunk Irish man kept telling me I was his Irish princess and singing me Irish songs and dancing in the bar all night.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yes, it was the best time I've ever had out in like a random bar with random people. Like, because it was just completely platonic, innocent. Like, he was just telling me, he's like, "You are an Irish princess," and he was like, "My Irish lady, and I love this girl."
So this is making me think of a story. So after work one day, I just took a walk downtown. I had my headphones in because I didn't want to talk to anybody, which of course is an invitation for most men to talk to you.
I don't understand it.
And this older man, like, started talking to me as I'm, like, walking. And I'm, like, not a rude person. And I'm like, hi.
Sometimes you gotta be a rude bitch.
And he ended up being, like, straight from Ireland. This, like, old guy. We talked for, like, half an hour on the sidewalk. He gave me his personal card. So if I ever want tomatoes, he'll give me tomato plants. But he was telling me... Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I just like, I'm not going to try to do an Irish accent right now because I'm way too tired for that. But I guess he like grows tomatoes and then like gives tomato plants to people in town.
All right.
And he gave me so much life advice. It was the most precious thing. And he was telling me all about Celtic night at the rum line, and people bring their kids, and you go on the second floor and everybody just dances, and then the pandemic hits. So, you know, that didn't happen. But he's like, if you ever come, I think it was like Tuesdays or Thursdays on these weeks.
All right, we're going.
It's Celtic night at the rum line.
You're like, going.
I know where that is.
You're bringing an Irish princess.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what he said? The way that he stopped me was, do you know the song "The Lady in the Black Dress" or something like that? Because I was wearing a black dress, and he's like, "You look just like her from this song," and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're wearing a black dress, so you remind me.
And it was some like old song. He's like, "You're too young to know the song," and I'm like, that's patronizing, but yes.
Maybe I do. I don't in this case, but in other cases I might.
In most cases, I do. Thank you.
I'm very hip to your ways,
sir.
Old man.
He was so funny. The
Irish man, they are the people.
I'm never gonna forget that conversation ever.
Yeah, that's all.
I still have his card. I know exactly where it is right now.
You gotta get it after the pandemic. You gotta go get some tomatoes,
and then go dance at the rum line.
Yes, I'm coming, and then we're going to a brewery.
Let's go.
And karaoke. We have all these plans.
So many plans. We just have to actually do it.
Yeah, that comes down to me doing it and you forcing me.
I'll make the plans and just tell you when to show up.
Yes, and I will feel so pressured to join, but I'll be happy once I get there.
Mm-hmm. I'll drag you. It's fine. This is a healthy relationship, guys.
It is.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine. I mean, if it weren't for you, I would be wrapped up like a burrito, so...
But that's not a problem, though.
Oh, I'm so tired. I have makeup on from yesterday because I'm a slob and didn't take my mascara off.
I'm impressed you put any makeup on.
No, I know.
Oh, I have a question for you.
All right, I'm excited.
I'm going to read this verbatim off of the website because I think their preamble of this is pretty funny.
Okay.
All modesty aside, what are you better at than 90% of people? And it doesn't have to be useful or serious. It can be something ridiculous.
Modesty aside. Oh, God.
Modesty aside.
So all these negative comments that are coming to my head, I have to squash them.
Yes. So what are you in the top 10% of the population of the world at some particular skill? And it can be as ridiculous or useful or useless.
Emily, I don't think I'm good at anything.
Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that right now. So something that like you probably don't even think of because you just do it, and then other people would be like, what? Like, I don't, like, what? Like a particular kind of meal that you make that I would probably be like, what did you just, like, what?
I mean, I can make a lot of Asian foods. Like, I can make pho, and I can make, like, I don't know, spring rolls and stuff. Easy stuff.
I would have no idea how to do that. Are they good? When you make it, is it good?
Oh, yeah, of course. I've made meals that Chan said are better than the way his mom cooks, which is an extreme compliment, especially from him.
Dang. Yeah, okay, yeah. So that counts in my mind.
Okay, does it? Because I was going to say I also like to sing. And I can make most situations funny. Yeah, I love singing. I just don't in public. I would rather die.
So therefore, we're going to go to karaoke.
Yes. Oh, I don't do karaoke. I attend karaoke.
Okay, good to know. I'm plotting already.
Oh, great.
Do you hear that, Bethany? We're gonna have to.
You know what's even worse is that I will do karaoke after a couple beers, but I lose my ability to sing. So it's like, well, can't win. I like to sing by myself.
No, you probably do that on purpose so that way you don't have to be like, well, I wasn't really trying, so it's okay if I sucked.
No, it really sucks. Trust me. Like it's like my whole voice changes. I get some 12-year-old boy's voice up in here.
Okay, I expect to see this, and I need at least 3 voice cracks.
Oh, you're gonna get a lot of voice cracks. Especially because after a couple drinks, the songs I choose are usually like Spice Girls or Ashley Simpson or something like that.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm excited for this to happen.
Yes, I really can't wait. I hope we actually do. I just want to meet everybody in our D&D group.
Oh, same. It's going to be so awkward and so lovely all at the same time.
Can't wait. So I was going to ask you, what's one thing about you that people don't realize when they meet you? And you said that. So now I'm going to ask you.
I do have a different answer for that, though. I have a lot of people that once they get to know me more, they tell me that they used to think I was a bitch. So that's always fun. I'm trying now to hold my judgments until after I get to know someone.
That's hard. First impressions are very important. Profile pictures are important.
So a lot of this is in the context of when I was an art major, and half of our classes we were supposed to critique people, and I took that as like, okay, I want to be a better artist, so like critique me, and I'm going to critique you. And people were like, no, you're like, wow, you're like such a bitch. I'm like, it was like literally a requirement of the class to do this.
No, I know what you mean, because I've graded like other students' papers, and they're like, really?
Oh, but like I definitely, when I TA'd and graded for people, I gave really bad grades because people suck. So
I want people to be their best.
Mince words. Exactly. That's how I feel. It's like if you're not here to be your best and to learn, then you can continue to fail. And that's your problem. And I'm not going to be complicit in that.
No.
So did I hand out C's? I handed out a lot of C's. I did.
They weren't even asking for grades. You're just handing out C's. They're like, proofread this. You're like, here's a C.
Average.
But I brought a game for us to play. So
this is a surprise.
I know it was a surprise because you said you were planning all these first date questions, and I only found a couple. You already took one. And I came up with that one on my own I was real proud of. So I brought a game to substitute for all my lack of thinking.
I'm ready.
All it is, it's called Incoherent. And it's similar to
sounds
this.
Good.
Yeah, all it is like jumbled up words that sound like something else. And you have to figure out what it's actually saying.
Okay.
So there's three different categories: party, pop culture, and kinky. For the sake of this G-rated podcast, I think we should avoid kinky, but that's up to you.
This is very entertaining.
I know. So pick your category, my lady.
I'll go with...
You want to go with kinky, but you're scared.
No, I don't. Because it's going to show how ignorant I am. I spent a lot of time in church. We had like a lot of conversations about purity. I never had to go to a purity ball. That's more of a Southern thing.
Oh, really?
But I definitely thought about writing a letter to my future husband.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, most of the ladies at our Wiccan circles were naked and just talked about loving yourself.
So let's go pop culture. And we can.
Pop culture.
Let's do pop culture.
All right, so let's see how we can do this. Let's see. I want to like say it so that you can't get it, but like it's cheating. Okay. Bump, Ken, Spies, Slot, Day.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Yes, you're so good at this. I'm doing another one right now because you did that too fast. Just so you know, there are hints available if you need it.
Okay.
Okay, ready? This one I think is a little bit harder. Far rat, turn it, heap rod her.
That's long, too.
Far rat, turn it, heap rod her.
Far.
Far rat, turn it, heap rod her.
You sound like a robot.
Here you go, ready? Say it.
Far return its heaper. Far at turn it heap rod her. Far I'm thinking it starts with the.
No. Well, it doesn't start with the. It starts with far rat.
Well, like far kind of sounds like the.
Far rat turn it heap rod her. It's hard. It's really hard, this one, I think.
I need a hint.
The hint is Greek-ish. Oh.
I don't know Greek things. Just ancient Greek. I don't know modern Greek.
I wouldn't even say this is Greek. This is like
Greek?
very modernized Greek. Farat turnet he brought her. He brought
her. Is it feta?
No, I thought you were gonna get it. I got excited.
Farah?
Nope. Farat turnet he brought her. Farat turnet he brought her.
You're saying the same thing over and over again, and I have no idea what you're saying.
I'll try to say it faster. Farat turnet he brought her. Greekish. I'll give you my own hint. Okay? College.
Okay, say it again.
Farat turnet he brought her. Come on, Emily.
Is it like a fraternity or sorority?
Fraternity brother.
Fraternity brother.
Yes. That was good.
That's so painful. I'm so sorry, everyone.
No, that was great. You were like, is it a fraternity? And I was like, you're so cool. I wanted to say he brought her. Okay.
Your inflections on that were excellent.
I tried. All right, I'm going to hold one up for you now to read to me.
Okay.
Wait, I don't know what the...
You ready?
Yes.
P. Jim Moshi.
Peach emoji.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You did a really good job at saying it.
Thank you. It's mostly because I was trying to figure out if I should say Mo or Mao.
Mouji. All right, hold on. I'm going to show you another one. That was really fast. I'm so smart.
That's upside down. Yep.
Sorry. They're all together
That's okay.
in the box.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Cram, pear, heave, ot, caw.
Cran, pear, heave, opt, caw.
Mm-hmm.
And this is blue category was what? Blue category is party. Okay. Cranberry vodka.
Yes. Dang, girl.
I am so good at listening to drunk slurs.
Yeah, you are. That's a skill. Modesty aside, you're better than 90% of the people.
I have a big alcoholic family.
It's the Irish. What are you gonna do?
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
We are who we are.
That's
fun. I like that game. I've been wanting to play that with you via podcast. All right, well, let's wrap this bad Larry up. I think we did good for our 2-week break?
Yeah. Woohoo. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yes, thank you. And check us out on YouTube and Instagram. I'm sorry about the motorcycle. It's fucking spring.
So check us out on YouTube and Instagram. And our Anchor page.
Yes.
Because Anchor is where you can send us audio messages too. So if you have anything you want to say or want us to talk about, go over to anchor.fm/key-chats.
Yes. And Emily and I keep coming with questions, but I would really love to answer anyone else's questions. Like, no offense to you, Emily, but you know what I mean. Like, it would be nice to get some listener questions.
No offense taken, because I Googled these. So
I Pinterested mine.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so check us out on the things, and we will talk to you guys again soon.
Yes,
Bye.
Bye.